Are you looking for the best motherboards for gaming? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best motherboards for gaming on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. ASUS TUF Z590-Plus. ASUS TUF Z590-Plus is the best high-end Intel Z590 motherboard. Standard ATX, Rocket Lake CPUs, socket LGA 1200, 128GB RAM max. If you're looking for a Z590 motherboard to put inside of a high-end gaming PC build, then the ASUS TUF Z590-Plus is worth considering. It isn't the cheapest Z590 chipset board on the market, but it comes packed with a ton of extra features and an extremely durable build quality that will make it a worthy option for anyone with a higher budget. The Z590-Plus can support 11th generation Intel Core processors, and it comes with triple M.2 slots, a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-C header, and a Thunderbolt header. The ASUS TUF Z590-Plus also comes with PCI 4.0 support, and it can support multiple graphics card configurations. So, if you're looking to build a multi-GPU system, this board will definitely allow you to do so. You can also run up to 128GB of DDR4 memory in dual-channel mode on this motherboard, which is standard for LGA 1200 motherboards, and overclock the memory up to a maximum of 5133 MHz. Speaking of overclocking, this board utilizes 14 plus 2 DRMOS power stages, which will give it plenty of power in order to push your processor to extreme levels. In the end, this board has everything an enthusiast could want, and so, if you're looking for one of the best Z590 motherboards on the market, you should consider the ASUS TUF Z590-Plus. Number 2. Gigabyte X570 AORUS. Gigabyte X570 AORUS is the best high-end AMD X570 motherboard. Standard ATX, Ryzen 5000 CPUs, socket AM4, 128GB RAM max. The Gigabyte X570 AORUS is one of the best X570 motherboards available. First off, it's a great option for any gamer who is looking to overclock their new Ryzen CPU. It also comes with the option to run dual video cards. It has 2 NVMe M.2 ports, so you can use an NVMe SSD on it, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 header, and is compatible with Gigabyte's Fusion 2.0 RGB lighting control software. Perhaps one of the coolest features of the Gigabyte X570 AORUS is the fact that the I/O shield comes pre-installed on the motherboard. If you've built a computer before, you know how much of a pain it can be to get the motherboard correctly lined up to the shield. It's a small feature, but it is a nice addition from Gigabyte, and one that hopefully all motherboard manufacturers adopt in the future. Ultimately, the Gigabyte X570 AORUS is geared towards AMD enthusiasts who are looking to build a high-end overclocking-friendly gaming computer with a new Ryzen 5000 CPU. Number 3. ASUS ROG Strix-I. ASUS ROG Strix-I is the best mini-ITX motherboard option. Mini-ITX, Ryzen 5000 CPUs, socket AM4, 64GB RAM max. If you're looking to build a mini gaming PC and you need a solid mini ITX motherboard for your system, then you might want to consider ASUS ROG Strix-I X570i or Z590i motherboards. We've linked to the AMD version of the motherboard above, but you can find the Intel Z590 version of the board here. The ASUS ROG Strix-I motherboards are high-end mini ITX options, and they aren't cheap. There are other more affordable mini ITX motherboard options out there. But, if you're looking for a top-of-the-line mini ITX motherboard that will allow you to overclock your processor and that will come with a host of high-end features, this is a solid option worth considering. These motherboards come with PCI 4.0 support, a sleek design, plenty of RGB lighting options, including access to ASUS AORUS Sync RGB lighting software, and multiple M.2 sockets. Ultimately, while these mini ITX motherboards won't make sense for budget-conscious builders, they will work well for anyone who is looking to build a high-end compact system. Number 4. MSI B550 Tomahawk. MSI B550 Tomahawk is a solid mid-range AMD motherboard. MSI Mag B550 Tomahawk gaming motherboard has standard ATX, Ryzen 5000 CPUs, socket AM4, 128GB RAM max. For those of you looking to build a powerful but more moderately priced system, AMD's mid-range B550 chipset is an excellent platform to utilize. And, of the available B550 motherboards on the market, the MSI B550 Tomahawk offers a nice mix of price to performance. There are cheaper B550 boards out there and there are higher-end options. But, the B550 Tomahawk combines the best of both worlds. This socket AM4 motherboard can support up to 128 GB of RAM that can be overclocked up to 4866 MHz. It has PCIe 4.0 support, multiple M.2 slots, USB 3.2 functionality, and a ton of RGB lighting options. It's not going to be the best motherboard for overclocking, but if you do want to hit extreme overclocks, you should be looking at an X570 chipset motherboard. This board will allow you to achieve mild overclocks, though. The bottom line is that if you're looking for a nice mid-range motherboard that will give you plenty of RGB lighting features, will allow you to overclock, that comes with nice aesthetics, and that won't cost you an arm and a leg, then the MSI B550 Tomahawk is an option you'll want to check out. Number 5. Gigabyte H410M S2H. Gigabyte H410M S2H is the cheap Intel motherboard for budget builds. Gigabyte H410M S2H V2 has micro ATX, Comet Lake CPUs, socket LGA 1200, 64GB RAM max. If you're working with a tight budget and you want to build an affordable gaming PC, a 10th generation Intel processor paired with an H410 chipset motherboard is a worthy option. And, while the H410 chipset isn't going to blow anyone away, it will provide you with an adequate platform to support your build. We like Gigabyte's H410M S2H motherboard for its low price tag and decent set of features. At just under $90, this motherboard will pair well with an Intel Core i3-10100F or i5-10400F. It doesn't have a ton of extra features, but it has everything you need: support for up to 64GB of RAM, PCIe 3.0 support, an M.2 slot, and USB 3 headers. Again, this motherboard isn't going to win any awards. However, it is a great entry-level motherboard that will give you everything you need to build a solid 1080p gaming computer.